Hey guys, hope everybody's having a really good day. I kind of teased a little bit that we were going to be doing a surprise webinar today with and I kind of wanted to keep it a mystery. I wanted to tease you guys a little bit about who it was. I have the one and only Coach Michael Burt here with me today. Coach, how are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, man. I'm at my offices in Nashville. We've been working on our conference that we have coming up in September and selling our coaching services. And man, we got all kinds of things going on.
Well, I love it. You're a person I've been following for a number of years. I know we talked about that a little bit at 8%, but I've been watching you since kind of some of the early Grant Cardone days. And it's, following you and kind of seeing, the impact you've been able to make in a lot of different industries has been really fun to watch, particularly the insurance world. Why have we started to see you get more ingratiated with the insurance world? Can you talk about that for a sec?
When I retired from athletic coaching, I didn't pick an industry. Actually, the industries kind of picked me. And what I figured out over the years is that I do very well in competitive environments where there's lots of competition. Typically, there's some type of saturation or commoditization. Mortgage, real estate, insurance, anywhere where there's too many people competing for the same space. The good people, the really, really good people are looking for an advantage. And those people typically look out to a coach. Who can coach me? Who can be my differential advantage? So I began personally coaching some of the top insurance people that, you would know. They've either gone through my one-year programs or my boot camps. And a lot of those people are, known in the insurance space. So I kind of become a coach to a lot of the top insurance people that are out there. And once you start coaching the top people, then everybody else wants to know, man, why am I not being coached by this guy? Why am I not doing it? It's right. It's really kind of a status symbol. It's like being coached by Grover, who worked with Jordan, or Elko that works with Saban, and that's kind of what I've become to a lot of business people. Right now, we're coaching the #1 EXP team in the world. We've coached the #1, we coach some of the top insurance people in the world. So I think we've just become known for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, when you talk to people that have kind of gone through your programs, I mean, they rave about, the difference that they see in themselves, at that person that they see in the mirror when they come out the other side. When I think about you, though, Coach, I think the thing that's, in my opinion, made the most difference for me personally, studying you from afar, has been the philosophy of person of interest. Yeah. It's been a lot. It's had a big impact on my own business and my own career. Kind of really embracing that philosophy. For anybody that might not be familiar with the idea or the concept of person of interest, can you talk about that briefly?
Early in my career, I was given a lot of business advice. Chase leads, call 100 people, join the chamber. And I felt really like I was going out into the market chasing, trying to convince people that I was good enough for them. And then I sat down on a Saturday and I said, man, I want to attract people. How do I build a business where I am known? I have a special skill set. I'm a specialist, not a generalist. I am in demand. There are people who are seeking me out to work with them. I'm not chasing and trying to convince. And I wrote down 3 words on a napkin that day, and it was person of interest. How do you become a person of interest? Which means you're an interesting person. You're doing interesting things. You are hanging around interesting people. It's like you're moving about the planet, creating new concepts, new constructs. You have something other people are interested in. And when you become this person, you become known, you become famous, you become celebrated, then you're in a buyer position, not a seller position. And a buyer position to me is, people are reaching out to me from all over the world to be their coach. And we are able to go where we want, work with who we want, be compensated what we think is fair value for our market. And I've watched some of my closest friends do this. As you know, I was close with Cardone for a period of time when he was really exploding in 2012, 2013. I spoke at the very first 10X in Riviera Maya, Mexico. I've been close with Brad Lee pretty much throughout the whole time that he's really exploded. And I've been good friends with these different people, Tim Grover, Kevin Elko, Tim Story. and I've been able to share and lecture. I've been able to be in proximity to these people and really observe what makes them people of interest. They almost always create something. They are bold. They are trendsetters. They're not followers. They're constantly creating large amounts of value for large numbers of people. And I really said, man, that's what I want to do. I want to be one of those people, right? And so that started early for me in my life, but that's the goal, man. Every insurance agent should want to be a person of interest. That gets you out of selling insurance and gets you into selling and future outcome and energy, an impression of increase. That's really person of interest.
Yeah, absolutely. And when I think about person of interest, I feel like it's a person that's willing to put themselves out there in such a way that more people can see them in a more efficient way, right? More people can be made more aware of them in a more efficient way, opposed to maybe knocking on 100 doors one by one, or opposed by, like you said, picking up the phone and calling 100 people one by one. It's an efficiency thing is the way that I perceive it. And it's putting yourself in terms of on a scale to where more people can recognize you, your brand, your business, your product, your service in a massive amounts. And I feel like the people that are willing to put themselves out there in that capacity, like all those names you mentioned and yourself included, they seem to be the ones that build these great businesses and really get attention for their business. Why do you think so many people fight against that philosophy? Because a lot of people really don't embrace that, and I've never quite understood it.
Well, it's like early in my career, I think it was Cardone that said to me, "You're a great coach, but you're a lousy marketer. You don't understand that this is not business, this is show business." And Paul Martinelli said that to me, who was with John Maxwell. They took that John Maxwell certification to 350 million in 10 years with 33,000 certified coaches. And he said the first thing we had to do was take Maxwell's Facebook group from 10,000 to 2.2 million. And when you understand the law of diffusion, the numbers, the sheer volume you have to go through, you start to understand, man, it don't matter how good you are until you learn how to become known. Okay. I have become known as a leading authority in activating the prey drive in people. And you think that's for just lazy people or whatever, but it's true. It's not. I'm coaching, as I mentioned, the number one door-to-door salesman in the world. I'm coaching the number one EXP real estate team in the world at 600 million. I'm coaching some of the top producers in the world. Why? Why would they need a coach to activate their prey drive? Because there's always another level.
Right.
Always another level. So I think it's about choosing what you're going to become known for. It's like putting a stake in the ground. Out of everything I could become known for, I'm going to become known for this. So you say, what do you do? Well, after you decide what you're going to be known for, you do what I do. I'm writing a book on prey drive. I've got podcasts on prey drive. I'm doing speaking engagements around prey drive. I do boot camps on prey drive. Like, to me, this is like, that's the dude, man. That dude is the guy who can activate and reactivate your prey drive. Now, I create other cool concepts: $1 million follow-up, person of interest, swag on confidence. Those are all great concepts. But at this particular point in my life, I've kind of decided, man, the number one thing I want to be known for is the leading activator of prey drive in the world. And that is an instinct to see something and pursue it. There's so many different ways I can go with that. There's prey drive in people and kids and couples and selling and closing and follow-up. So, that's kind of where I am in my life, because I got this new book coming out in February of 2022. I just had a marketing meeting today with McGraw-Hill, publisher. And, we want to make that a bestseller. But more importantly, what's in there can really change a person's life. And I believe that. So that's my mission right now.
And, I have no doubt that it will be, because you've written so many great books already. So, it's probably expected at this point. But talk about, so you mentioned a second ago, you've coached some very successful people. You've been around a lot of successful people. What do you think is a couple of characteristics that really separates the people that you end up coaching that really take that leap, right, in their business, in their life, in their brand, all of the above, to the people that maybe don't? Is there a couple characteristics that maybe stand out that you see over and over again?
Well, I'll take a guy like Cody Askins, who I was, kind of been his personal coach for a period of time, and he was in my 25K level. He did his new book through my publishing company. You know, what I like about him that separates him is simple. I give him an idea and he does it. He doesn't think about it. He don't sleep on it. He don't talk about it for 3 days. He has a high propensity to take action. See, a lot of people look at coaching as if the coach is going to come in and do the work for me. The coach is going to bring strategy. The coach is going to bring concepts. It is up to you to go implement the concept. So the top people I coach are looking for one idea, one concept, one construct, one word, one challenge, they're not looking for you to go in and change their life. They're looking for you to, hey, I'm here to learn this. I'm a very methodical person. So I bring a lot of structure. I have a lot of structures that I put people through. That's part of my coaching is I package and kind of deliver content in a way that people can get, right? I deconstruct concepts. And so the top people I coach, they don't whine, they don't complain, they don't make excuses. They never say I didn't get my money's worth out of the coaching. They come to get one thing. When I go watch a guy like Patrick Bet-David or somebody who's really talented, I'm looking for one concept. And it may not be something they say. You know, I walked away from seeing Patrick Bet-David and go, man, he's so fluid in his thoughts. He's such a sophisticated businessman. He really understands scale, and he's got a high prey drive about him. May not say something that I get. It may be just observing a person in his element doing what he does best. And so I think this is the problem with low-level people is low-level people are waiting on somebody else to change their life. It's always out there. Yeah. It's always, well, it will work for them, but it won't work for me. High-level people are going about the planet, grabbing what they need. Boom, I got an idea. Boom, I got a concept. I always tell people I went to a Tony Robbins event in Los Angeles. I paid $7,000, and after 15 minutes, I told the guy with me, we could leave now. And
I got what I came here for.
He's like, it's 4 days, it's 50 hours. I'm like, I get it. We can stay and go through all that. But what I wanted to learn was how does Tony Robbins put 10,000 people in a room? And I learned that in the first 15 minutes. Energy, music, drama, hype, right? Change of state. And so I saw it with my eyes. And that's all I wanted to get. Like now, all the other learning was great. But that's what I went to learn. And I was willing to pay the $7,000 just to see how he did it. See, that's how big time people think. I want to just observe you doing it, and I'm going to go back and do it. Low level people think, man, tell me exactly what to do. They don't have any critical thinking skills. They don't, like you heard person of interest and you went and did something with it, right? You went, so I'm going to do a podcast. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Like you took it and you did something with it. Okay. A lot of low frequency people hear concepts and they dismiss those concepts, or they say it's a lot of hype or fluff or whatever they want to say. It's typically an excuse they use just to not do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's really powerful. Like you mentioned Cody. Like Cody and me have become friends, you know, in the last couple of years. And one thing I've really taken from Cody is, and he says it all the time, is details delay. Like if you want to do something, just do it. And every time I've kind of taken that approach in my own business, even if it's something that maybe makes me a little nervous or scares me a little bit, it always comes out. It always ends up being a good thing, usually. And I think that really, you know, I think of it as like a person being resourceful, right? That's been a big thing I've been asking lately when we've hired people in our offices. Like, I want someone that's resourceful, somebody that can be a problem solver, somebody that can figure something out, and maybe not necessarily somebody that needs to have their hand held every step of the way. I think that's very, very valuable, and especially with the person driving the business forward as well.
Yeah, I think critical thinking, resourcefulness, a kind of whatever it takes mindset. I will get it done. I don't need a lot of hand holding. You know, just point me in the right direction. Like that's what the world needs: initiative, movement, circulation, action. When in doubt, take an action. When in doubt, take an action. And I think that served me very. When you're afraid, take an action. Right? Like I think action typically trumps a lot of things in my life.
Yeah, absolutely. And I I can mirror that as well, in my business. Another question I had for you, Coach. I know I want to be respectful of your time. I had a couple more questions I wanted to get out. Talk about, in my opinion, like, where do you see the future of personal branding going? Because I was talking to someone the other day, and like with social media marketing, like everybody's a brand these days, right? I feel like we're still in the infancy of it, as crazy as that might sound. Like, I feel like there's so much more growth ahead of it, of what's possible in personal branding in digital marketing. Where do you see that going in the next 10 years and the evolution of it, if you had to guess?
I think there's going to be a separation between people who have a demonstrated capacity to actually do it and people that pretend to do it. And to me, when you're building a personal brand, your brand is built on a series of beliefs. They're built on a series of beliefs. And when you're really good at articulating those beliefs, people move toward you, which is, in that world, they call followers, right? They follow your work because they believe in you. They believe in what they're really believing in, though, is your convictions. What they really believe in is what you stand for. What they really believe in is they're really saying, I believe the same things you do. Right. And you can just see our country right now. There's a big divide in our country between people who are scared and people who are not scared. People who believe in pandemics, people who don't, people who are willing to go places, people who are not. Like there's a pretty serious divide. And I travel all over the country, so I get to see that divide. I go into some cities, it's like a ghost town. I live in Nashville, and people are everywhere in Nashville. And this is all based on a set of beliefs. So to me, personal branding is putting a stake in the ground, going, this is what we believe. This is why we believe this. This is what we do. This is how we do it different than other people. Now, some people appeal. I don't appeal well. The fancy cars, I have a private jet. I don't flaunt it like a lot of people do. I use it to get from place to place and see my kids, because that's part of my profession. Do I take pictures on it? Sure, but I don't run it in the ground. I have Range Rovers. I don't have Lamborghinis, but I have multiple houses around the country. To me, I don't use these as props for me. I just use them like, man, this is part of my life, and I'm moving about the universe. But that does appeal to a lot of people, right? A lot of people look at my social media and say, hey, you should be flashier. You should do more stuff on the private jet. You should have the nicer car. You should show the houses. But I live in the South, right in the middle of the Bible Belt. I'm a faith-based person. I do talk about money, but I don't make it the centerpiece of everything I do. So a lot of people are attracted to me as a coach because they think I'm authentic. I bring a level of realness to what I'm doing, and I am an expert at coaching. I mean, I've been coaching for 28 years. A lot of these people are not real coaches. They haven't really done the work. They haven't coached the people. I spent 4 years in the prison system, rehabilitating maximum security offenders. I've coached billionaires, multimillionaires to broke. I've coached suicidal people. I've coached people through divorces and transition. Like, to me, it's just my body of work has really prepared me. If you call me tomorrow and say, man, I need you to come in and do this for these people, and it doesn't matter who the group is, Christian, I could say, I can handle it, man. There's probably no environment you could put me in that I couldn't handle because of just my unique past. And that has kind of given me kind of a unique skill set. So when Cody says, man, I want you to do this year fanatical follow-up, I want you to do person of interest 1 year, I want you to do how to find your talent this year, I'm versatile because of my body of work. And I think that gives me an advantage because I can connect to lots of people and lots of demographics of people.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I've always looked at it like you need to be unapologetically yourself, and whatever that is, you have to be authentic to it, because I think people can smell it. They can see it. They can spot it if you're trying to be anything other than yourself. Like when I first started this group, I would try to copy or mimic other things that other people that had successful groups were doing, and people could see it. People could see through it. They'd be like, it just doesn't, I mean, it's almost like, do you want to be a first-rate you or a secondhand copy of somebody else? It's kind of the way I look at it. And I think that makes a lot of sense. I think, you're building a following for yourself and not necessarily for somebody else that you're trying to mimic.
Well, there's a cycle, and the cycle is at first you look out and you emulate someone you really respect. For me, that was Dr. Covey, Stephen Covey, who I studied under for 7 years. And I was like a little, my first X number of years, I was like a little Covey, man. Whatever Covey says, what I said, like, because I admired him and respected him. Then you go through a period of trying to figure out, what do I believe in? What are my core beliefs? How do I blend all of my past into something unique? And then you practice what you believe until eventually you have your own set of beliefs, your own set of core convictions. And then other people look at you and go, hey, man, when I grow up, I want to be like that dude. Right. So I think I've gone through that cycle. You look out, you look in, you move on. You study under, you practice, you become. And I think that's kind of the cycle that a lot of people, though, want to go from crawling to running. And they miss that important middle step. Tim Story, my buddy, talks about this: crawling, walking, running. My 1-year-old son is trying to right now just stand up and take a few steps. Right. He needs to do that before he just takes off running. Like, it'd be ideal if he could just take off running. But I think in life, the walking, as crazy as it sounds, is where you really learn. You really know the stuff. You've done it. You've been in situations. You have the meat on the bone. People know you have substance. And that's really, really where you get into the big opportunities, is when you have a lot of substance. You have a demonstrated capacity to do what you're telling people to do, and I think that's to me, that's very important to this equation.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you. I think that's very true and very insightful. Coach, again, I want to be respectful of your time. Where can people find you? Because this replay will stay up. Replays usually get a couple hundred to maybe 500-600 views in the group, and then we'll put it up on the YouTube channel. So a lot of people will see this on the replay. Where can people get in touch with you, and what kind of services do you offer to people that maybe might want to level up?
Yeah, what I do is that we get a lot of requests from around the country for me to coach people or their teams, a lot in the insurance space. We've coached virtually every group, and different people have different needs. So what we typically do is a strategy session where we uncover, what are you trying to do? Well, I'm trying to do this. Well, I'm trying to do this. Well, I'm trying to build an agency. I'm trying to build a team. I'm trying to build a call center. I'm trying to write books. I'm trying to become a person of interest. Then we put you into programming that I have. I have everything from individual programming to team programming to boot camps. And we kind of put you on a path that can help you move from A to B. To me, that's what a good coach does, right? What's very popular right now in the insurance space is lots of people want to coach and be coaches. So we've got a new coaching accelerator where I spend time each month with people who are typically insurance people, but have a desire to coach or monetize their coaching. So we put them into a package where they get monthly sessions with me in a group, and then they can come to boot camps and they get passes to the different things I do. And that's kind of a new thing that we're offering. But man, we typically have some type of program for almost every need that you have.
I love it.
So you
I love it.
CoachBurt.com. You can email me at info@CoachBurt.com. You can watch me on YouTube, Instagram at Coach Michael Burt or at Michael Burt. If you just search Coach Michael Burt, then you can find me on pretty much everywhere. But man, I'd love to see you. We have a huge presence in the insurance space, as you know. I've spoken with the last 4 8% nations. I think every time I thought this year we really hit it out of the park and had a good showing. And, we picked up X number of new clients. So we're excited about working with people in the insurance space to give them a competitive advantage. And the coaching I offer is very different than a lot of the coaching that's out there because it's very specific to certain things. Okay. So we listen and then we prescribe.
Yeah. Well, I love it. Guys, if you're watching this on Facebook, we'll throw links to Coach Burt's YouTube channel and his website in the comments. So watch for those. And then if you're watching on YouTube, we'll throw them in the description. Thank you for doing this. This was awesome. And really a treat for the group and for the members. And so and the YouTube subscribers. So I really appreciate you taking the time, and I don't take that for granted, and I appreciate you sharing all the value that you brought today.
Right. Well, thank you for having me. Thank you for studying my work. It's good to meet you in person in Dallas, and means the world to me that my work and my body of work is helping people around the world, and to hear the stories of people and transformation. And man, I used your concept, and it, just really does my heart good. So we're very grateful to get to do what we do every day, and grateful to be America's coach, and grateful to continue to help you move your ball down the field.
We'll love it. Go follow Coach Michael Burt, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for being here, everybody, and thanks for watching.